This is the Reinvention Stories After 40 podcast,
where women find the courage to rise, rebuild, and reinvent life on their terms.
Real women, real struggles, real transformations. Hosted by Lorna Blake, who has lived the struggle, risen from the ashes, and now holds space for women's powerful stories of courage and reinvention.
And now, here's Lorna.
Welcome to the Reinvention Stories After 40, the place where we celebrate amazing women who've had the courage to begin again, no matter the age or stage in life. Now, today's conversation is especially sweet because my special guest is somebody that I happen to know from another lifetime, right? So I would say over 10 years ago, I met this amazing lady. I hired her as a professional organizer to come in and help us settle into a new apartment in Toronto, Canada. And she brought such incredible light, peace, calm, and clarity into our home. But more than that, she exudes that level of light and magnetism that made her unforgettable to me. And so while our paths diverged when I moved overseas, we didn't keep in touch, but I never forgot her. And then, the universe works in some amazing ways to orchestrate events. Just out of the blue, I came across this lady on YouTube sharing her story of moving from Toronto, Canada to start over in London, England. I was so inspired. So I reached out to her and reintroduced myself. She said she never forgot me either. And so she said yes to this conversation. And so I'm excited to share this conversation with you. But before I do, I want to tell you a little bit more about her. So her name is Marie. And Marie is a creator and former studio administrator who at 57 years young made the bold decision to leave her job and home in Canada to start a new life in London, England. Passionate about clean living, sustainable style, and intentional reinvention, she shares her journey to show that it's never too late to create a life that feels authentic, inspiring, and aligned with who you are today. Through her story, Marie encourages women in midlife to embrace change with curiosity and courage, and to see a fresh start as a powerful new beginning. With all of that in mind, let's welcome the amazingly inspiring and youthful Marie Mercurius to the Reinvention Stories After 40 podcast. Marie, thank you so much for being my guest. It's wonderful to have you and to share you with my community.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me. It's been a really, really long time, but I'm so glad that you reached out.
It really has been. It's so incredible to have this conversation because I can remember like yesterday when I hired you and you came into my home to help us to make our apartment special. And so I want to take you back to that because you were an amazing professional organizer doing your thing as the owner of Closet Maven in Toronto. Catch me up on what you've been up to over the past 10 or so years.
Well, I was doing the Closet Maven. As you know, I was specialized in closets, but professional organizing, especially for small spaces, was my jam. That was my thing. So after time, I decided to switch gears and I needed to bring in more income, essentially. I needed to bring in more income.
Yeah.
So I ended up working in a couple of retail environments. Through there, I had met a coworker who was doing home staging. So when she would get busy, she'd ask me, would you be interested in helping? So I ended up working with her. We got really busy. We did a lot of homes. It's a lot of work, but it's very rewarding.
And then we moved on to staging of homes.
For sale. Yes,
Oh.
yes. So I was still kind of keeping in the interiors, you know,
So you were
world.
still doing professional organizing, but doing home staging primarily?
Yes, yes. So those two kind of worked well
Yes.
together.
Yeah.
And then we moved away from the staging into interior decorating.
Huh.
So we did that for a few clients. And then after some time, my friend decided she wanted to move back home to Niagara Falls. That's where she was from. So
Uh,
she kind of closed down the business.
um,
So yeah, then it was starting again. And, I ended up working in a high-end outdoor furniture company. And
um,
then the pandemic hit.
yeah.
So then, of course, we went into lockdown like the whole planet did.
Yeah.
And during that time, I just realized it was not the job for me. It was just a lot. And I think probably because I was in perimenopause too at the time,
Uh-huh.
that I was not retaining information. I didn't know brain fog was a
Mm,
thing
mm,
until after. So I ended up the job left me. Let's just put it that way. The job left me,
huh.
and 4 years ago, I got a job at a floral studio, not designing florals, but doing the bookkeeping and the client care, essentially.
Uh-huh.
And then that's where I was up until I made my departure.
Wow. Wow. So you've had quite a number of situations where you started over since you and I last saw each other. Probably similar
Yes,
to my own start. I've started over so many times. I haven't been able to keep track. So as I'm talking to you, I'm seeing the synergies in terms of our stories. And little did I know that these many years later, we would reconnect around reinvention. So isn't the universe amazing though?
and it totally is.
Gosh. So, based on what you've just shared in terms of what your life was like, what would you say was the moment or the situation that made you realize that something had to change, that you didn't want to continue with life as it was?
Well, the job that I was at, my boss, great
Mm,
on a personal front. On the
mm,
business front,
mm,
not so much, not so much. So it, was very stressful at times. And, when you're a woman of a particular age, stress is not your friend. And
mm.
so I needed some, I needed some time away. I needed to work on me emotionally because I just needed a break,
Yeah,
full stop.
yeah.
So I decided I was going to go travel, and I actually, unbeknownst to my boss, I booked probably 75% of my trip before I even asked for the time off because
Wow.
that's where I was. I
Yeah,
was just like, if he says no, then I'm like, I
you're
just,
out.
I just can't. Nice guy, but I just didn't feel in alignment with a lot of the way he was running things.
Alignment is so key, isn't it?
Very much so. Like not everybody's meant to be a business owner, let's just
Yeah,
put it that way. But
yeah.
again, nice guy, nice guy. So I booked this 6 week solo trip.
Huh.
I was in England and France and Italy, and just being away from my job and my environment really opened my eyes to, I feel like what my soul was missing and really needed. I just felt like before I even got back from my trip, I'm like, I'm going back. I'm going back next year.
Wow. So you
Yes.
knew what you're saying to me is that you knew the instant you left and got to Europe that your soul came alive and
Hmm.
you were clear that you were going to go to Toronto, but you were heading back to where you just came from.
Yeah. Yes. my initial plan was to spend like 3 months in Italy. That's the most I could do now that the Brexit thing happened.
Mm.
And then I thought, oh, maybe I'll go to like someplace like Colombia for the winter to escape the Canadian cold.
Uh-huh.
And then just over time and, different people I'd met and stuff like that, I thought, you know what, I think London would be a better place because I was born here.
I recalled you saying that.
Um,
Yeah, when we met.
mhm. Yeah, born here, I have more of a support system here. I think the opportunities would be better here.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, I'm just a short plane ride across to Europe, which is, I wanted to travel more, so it would make it so much easier.
Wow. I love it. I love when we find places that make our souls come alive. I feel like that is the key. And I love
Mhm.
your courage because it takes a lot to just say, you know what? I'm gonna do this regardless, and if he says no, that's how it's gonna be. It's gonna be okay. I'm just gonna do it because that's what I'm feeling like doing. I've done that multiple times, but it's like I'm seeing my mirror image, and it's just so incredibly inspiring, I think, for
Mhm.
everybody to see you do that or to hear you say, this is where I was and this is what I did.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Life is for living. And honestly, we don't know how much time we have on this planet, especially given everything that's happened over the last 5 years. You just don't know. So, get out there and live your life on your own terms.
Trust me, I relate to that. I don't know if I shared with you, my mom, she was what, about 56 when she got diagnosed with cancer. She lived in Toronto, like we had moved her from Jamaica. She had come to live with me. And at 56, she just was diagnosed with cancer, and 4 years later, she was gone.
Mm.
And that lit a fire under my tail. In my 40s, I was just about 40, some early 40s, and I realized I have no guarantee what lies ahead. What I do have is this moment. So that is what made me start moving with so much purpose to just live life fully, because like you just said, we don't have any guarantees. What we have is right now. And I know that one of the greatest regrets that people have when they're on their deathbeds is they didn't live life fully. They didn't play. They didn't enjoy their lives. And so, I didn't want that to be me. So as I'm talking to you, like I said, I'm hearing myself. It's so fascinating. So tell me, what fears or challenges did you have to overcome to step into this new chapter, this new journey?
Probably the biggest one was the fear of the unknown because I moved here. When I told people slowly that I was making the move, just about everybody, first question, do you have a job lined up?
Yeah.
And no, I did not, because I didn't want to just jump from one thing right to the next. I wanted some downtime to, decompress,
Yeah.
de-stress, and figure out, my next step. So that's probably the biggest um, challenge or fear. And also, let's be honest, I mean, London is not the cheapest place on the planet to live right now.
Yeah.
So that's that's the other thing to contend with. But I'm just like, I feel called here.
Yeah.
So, I know that the universe always works, conspires, in your favor, and you never know who may cross your path at any given moment in the most unexpected of ways. So I'm stepping out on faith and knowing that I will be okay. It's not my first big move
I love
from
it.
the country.
You are stepping out on faith because you know that the universe conspires on our behalf to bring us what we need. And when we move according to that guidance, all kinds of waves are put out into the universe and synchronicities and opportunities and all kinds of things come our way because of that. And so as you're speaking, I'm seeing that for you.
Yes, I'm taking that. I'm taking all of that.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's so far, we're just taking things just one day at a time and not letting, fear overtake me. I think it's
Yeah,
okay to feel it and then, move forward.
I love that. Yeah, feel the fear and move forward anyway. That's one of my
Mhm.
mottos. I love it's like every almost everything that you're saying, as I'm hearing you say it, I'm hearing myself. I just love it. So, how long ago did you move and what does life look like for you now?
I have been here. I left the end of September. I actually missed my original flight
Oh,
by one day. I was just, I think, overwhelmed and had still a lot to do. And I was doing this all on my own.
yeah.
And yeah, just missed the flight. So I had to rebook for the next night and landed. So I'm here with some family
Yeah.
and just trying to get myself sorted as far as work and other accommodations.
Yeah.
But and just continuing on with YouTube and trying to, forge community.
Oh my God, it's so incredible. So you've hardly been, you're not even 6 weeks in there. Yeah, about 5 weeks.
Hmm.
How incredible
Yeah.
is that? Oh my God. I'm just so excited that I found you at the time that I did. It's so great.
Hmm.
And I know that I know it's going to work out great for you. So you answered, I think, some of it, but I'm going to ask this one anyway. What role would you say community or support played or has played in your journey so far?
So far, it's been good. It's very, very important because it can be um, very lonely
Yes.
for people. And I mean, I'm good with my own company. I'm an only child, and I lived on my own, and so that doesn't bother me. But still, having people that you can connect with from time to time, whether it's in person or online through WhatsApp or something, I think, really helps. And what I'm so grateful for is the support of a lot of my subscribers who have either lived here or still live here, and they've been giving me suggestions on places to go. If I'm looking for particular things, go here, check this store, go check out this market, or so it's just really been heartwarming, actually.
Oh, that's so amazing. And, as you're celebrating and expressing gratitude for your community and people just rallying in terms of support and resources, I know that there's going to be even more that's going to open to you. I could just feel that.
Mm. I'm ready.
Yeah, yeah, that's wonderful. So tell me, what's one daily practice or habit that's helped you to stay grounded, in the midst of fear and whatever else comes up? How do you stay grounded? What's one daily habit or practice?
One thing that I do every day, I mean, if I'm away, sometimes I can't, but for the last almost 20 years, I do an angel card reading. I had left a job back in 2005, and as a parting gift, one of my coworkers, I guess you could call her, she gifted me this angel card deck.
Oh,
So every day I do a reading, and it helps me connect with spirits and just ask, what do you want me to know about today? And then
Wow.
I do the spread and I make a note. So, yeah, I always feel off. If I don't do it, I feel a little like off, like if you don't wear your watch for the day, you feel
Yeah.
like something is missing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
So that is
I
a
like that
grounding, a
guidance.
really grounding habit for you, which has helped you. 20 years.
Almost.
That's a long time. I love that. Thanks for sharing that. And if you had to give your reinvention a title, what would you call it?
Well, it could be definitely, it's like new chapter, new beginning, new me, stepping into my reinvention era with
Mm,
grace.
mm.
Mhm.
Stepping into your reinvention era with grace. That sounds like a chapter, all right. I'd love to read that book. And we're coming down here, but I'm really enjoying this. What advice would you give to another woman over 40 who's thinking it's too late for me?
First and foremost, it is never, never too late for you. I mean, I'm almost 60 and never thought I would, make such a bold move at this time in my life. You got to live your life for you, and no one else. Because at the end of your days, like you said, you don't want to regret not living a purposeful life, not living life on your own terms. For me, just cultivating a relationship with spirit helps guide me along the way. And I also just feel like you just never know who you're going to meet. You could meet the love of your life. You could meet you could find the career of your dreams. You just never know who you're going to be you know, if you don't step out and, you know, take that move. You need to prep, you need to plan, you need to research and all those things, but there can be so much goodness on the other side of things.
Beautifully said. And you talk about being almost 60. I think years ago you might have mentioned your age, and I was like, you gotta be kidding. You're 20 years younger. Because I don't really share my age too much, but I turned 60 last year. So I'm gonna
Oh,
be 61. And actually, I'm gonna be
wow.
61 in this month. And so
Whoa.
yeah, and so I look at you and I think, what do you know that the rest of us don't? You know some stuff. You know some stuff. Is it skincare?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, it's skincare. I started using waterless skincare, like no water in it.
Really?
Because most skincare has about 70% water in it, and that waters down the active ingredients. So I use a product from Oliveda, Olive Tree People, and each product that they have in their skincare line is 70% hydroxytyrosol, which is extracted from the leaves of olive trees. High potent vitamin C, and a whole host of benefits. So, yeah. Also, the thing about water in your products is it can harbor mold and bacteria, and that is why they have to put preservatives in
Oh,
it.
oh,
But
um,
also, along with the skincare, it's just living clean, eating clean, exercising, trying to minimize the stress. But yeah, I'm all about sustainable, living, low tox, no tox living.
yeah, it's a real pleasure to talk to you at this level where you get to share, from your heart and provide some of your wisdom to others, to other women who may be going through and trying to figure out their way. Any final words For women out there, they're looking on and they're saying, well, you can do it because you have some family in London, yes, and more than that, you were born there. And, well, it will work out for you because you're pretty and you're young or you're young looking and whatever,
You have to do some inner work around that. You have to do some worthiness and you have to dream big. You have to dream and know that anything is possible. Really and truly, it is. You got to sit and write down your goals. And honestly, for a big move, start small. Go visit. Go visit the place that is calling you first,
Good
because
point.
it might not be the place for you, but go visit first. And then there's lots of resources online where you can look for visas, digital nomad visas. There are a lot of resources out there, but don't think that you're not good enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not smart enough, you're not, you know, like, I'm not saying this has been a smooth ride so far. It's a journey. It's going to have its ups and downs,
Yeah.
and that's part of it. And you just have to embrace that. But you can do it. You can do it. And I hope that my story really inspires people. And I feel like we are in this era or of a movement
Yeah.
of more women in midlife who are doing it, leaving whatever behind and, because they know that there's more out there. They want more for themselves.
True. True. What I love is you touched on the point of doing that inner work. And I feel that for most of us, that's the beginning point, is getting to what's really inside. What do I really want? What do I truly value? You know,
Mm-hmm.
what what is calling me? What is my heart aching for or yearning for? What lights me up? And so some of those questions I think are a beginning point, don't you? Of starting that soul searching to figure it out.
Yes. And what are the fears that are holding me back?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So, listeners, and viewers, you've heard Marie's wisdom. Isn't she amazing? And so graceful and poised. I really, really love her. Marie, as we get ready to close, because the time has really run out so quickly, I want to ask you, how can people get in touch with you? Share your Instagram and YouTube so people can connect.
I am just my first and last name, Marie Mercurius. Um, that's it at YouTube and on Instagram. Those are my two main platforms that I'm on. First and last name, Marie Mercurius, without the O.
Right. And for everybody who may be asking, I'll put the links right in the description below. But her last name is Mercurius. Correct, Marie? So you're going to find, and
That
Marie is
is.
Marie. So find her on YouTube as well. I mean, she's just Oh, so she's doing such an amazing job inspiring people on YouTube. I'm sure
Mm,
that the universe served it up because, so many women are loving what she's bringing. So you want to find her and join in the conversation. So Marie, thank you so much for taking the time today to share your wisdom with my community. It's been such a pleasure and to catch up with you after all these years. It's just amazing, right?
yes. Yes.
And
Thank
looking
you. Thank
forward
you.
to,
Thank you so much.
oh, it's my pleasure. And I look forward to doing more of this because you have so much more. I could tell that you have so much more to share.
Yes, we shall talk. We shall talk.
Yes, right. Oh, thank you again. So, what a beautiful reminder Marie brings to us that it's never too late to say yes to a new beginning. Marie's courage to start fresh in a new city at 57 years young shows us that reinvention isn't about chasing something out there. It's about listening to what your soul is quietly aching and asking for. So whether it's more peace, more adventure, more alignment, your next chapter begins the moment that you choose yourself. Now, if Marie's story spoke to you today, take it as your sign. I love to talk about signs because those make sense to me. There is never any expiration date on change, and the universe is always talking. Pay attention to that. So thank you for watching this episode of Reinvention Stories After 40, and be sure to follow Marie on Instagram and YouTube. Her links are going to be below. And if you'd like more stories like Marie's, don't forget to subscribe and share this with another sister who's ready to begin again. Now, until next time, remember, don't wait for permission to start over. The only permission that you need is your courage. See you on the next one.